It's new product time.
I know. Okay, you take my mug.
Okay. All right, first new product.
Okay. Oh, it's so glowy. Actually, I can't show this on the overhead.
These LEDs.
These are.
Careful not to unplug their entire.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like super careful.
All right, these are these segments.
Yeah, these are LED sort of rectangles.
Yeah.
I guess you'd call them. Hold on, let me plug in these so that they're live and blinking. Okay, so normally we have other pixels. We have like big pixels and round pixels, and these are like rectangular pixels. So each pixel is on a strand, and they chain together, and they use the WS2801, which is an SPI LED driver. And the nice thing about the SPI LED driver is you can drive it from like any microcontroller or microcomputer. You can actually drive off of like a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino or an Arduino or a PIC or like any device, because it's a very basic bit bang, no special timing requirements really. It's a 24-bit color. You can kind of see the color of his reflect. It's very bright, so you have to see it reflected off of me.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is there's three really bright LEDs, and they're sort of waterproofed in this plastic thing with these. There's this tape on the back that's very good for sticking, and also little mounty tabs, so you can like hammer or screw them into place. And they come in a set of 21, not 20, because I thought they would make for kind of cool like 7-segment display. You can make like a 7-segment type thing. I don't know, like you can make like a 4-segment here, but you could make a sign. So I was like, okay, well, if you're making a 7-segment, you may want to make 3. So there's 21 LEDs per strand, and you need like 9 to 12 volts DC to power them. But they're kind of fun, and they're like just an alternate shape because we had squares and circles and dots, and we wanted to have something a little bit better. It's also maybe good if you want to make like cove lighting, something that's like an underlit where it's thin, because the wide triple LED gives it a little bit more like light, sort of in the lengthwise direction.
Yeah.
So anyway, super fun.
Do you want to see what happens if we replace them over the overhead? I just want to see.
I guess so. We could try.
Yeah, let's see what happens with this. That's a webcam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see the 3 LEDs in the driver chip.
Yeah.
And then they're chained together about 3 inches apart, and then these are the mounting holes. So yeah, you can't see the whole strand, but you can sort of see how each one is changing color.
All right. Moving right along. Okay. So this is basically the star of the show tonight, besides you, is this BeagleBone case. Starring
the BeagleBone case.
This is our second beautiful case. This is for the BeagleBone Black, and it is amazing. If you have a BeagleBone Black, this is the best case.
This is the best case.
Adafruit design.
We thought really hard about it.
Designed by Mike Dole again. He's the one who did the first case, the very popular Raspberry Pi case. He is back.
He's back.
And he's doing
Ready for
the
more.
BeagleBone Black case. So here's a couple more photos. These are all photos by John Janier. Now everyone knows why the code is BBB.
BBB, BeagleBone Black. You can put a BeagleBone Classic in, but like the microSD slot's different, so it doesn't really work, so I don't suggest it, because some people will probably go, I have a BeagleBone,
okay. So we're going to the overhead lady.
Okay, so let me kind of give me a little bit more space here. So yeah, so it's got a clear top and a black bottom, and here it snaps together very nicely. And there's these little mounting holes on the bottom too if you want to mount it to something.
I'm gonna unplug this.
Oh yeah, so go.
Can you just unplug it?
Yeah, you can unplug it, but then I want to keep this for later.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the BeagleBone Black, and there's the 4 holes. And so you line it up like so, and it just press fits in. Like that. It just snaps in place, and now that's it. It's snapped in place. You don't have to use any screws or anything, and it's like super secure. Like, it's not coming out. Like you can pull it out if you are, you just wedge it carefully. You pull carefully, but for the most part, you shouldn't have to. And then
mounting holes on the back.
Yeah, there's mounting holes on the back, and there's actually a lot of clearance, so you can use something metal. Man, it's really hard to see because it's so dark. Black thing on a black case, so you can see there's mounting holes. So you can like mount on a wall or something. We're not sure. We kind of thought like, oh, let's add it because it's not hard to add it. And then you can. The nice thing about this case that we designed it, you can use it without the top, so it sits securely, and you can fit a cape on top. I don't want to press this cape in too much because it will be hard to remove. But even when you press it all the way down, the cape doesn't hit the sides because the sides are right below where the edge is of the. kind of see maybe in the photo you can see it a little bit better, but the headers end right below the side of the case. So you can plug in, really large capes if you want, it won't be a problem. And then, if you want, you should probably snap the top on.
Yeah.
And this top snaps on. It's got this kind of cool, modern, squarish shape. We went with a rounded shape for the Pi. We wanted it to look different.
Yeah.
So the Pi is kind of like this sort of soap dish. This is very rectangular, super flat.
We're moving towards the flat design, like iOS 7 for our cases.
And you can access the port DC, USB, Ethernet, and then on the other side you've got the USB host, micro HDMI, and then a micro SD slot. And we put it like a cutaway so you can push and pull the micro SD very easily.
Yeah.
I'll also show on the.
So the other thing, just one quick, I want to back up just a little bit for one question.
Let me open this up.
For the LEDs, are these waterproof or weatherproof?
They are weatherproof. I wouldn't put them underwater for extended periods of time, but they can get wet. They're meant for outdoor use.
Yeah.
They're epoxy coated. You might be able to put them underwater, but I don't think they're rated for that. Anyways,
Okay.
And you can pop the top up. Oh, can you go back to the photo of the Beagle bone from kind of the side so we can see
Side? This side? This side?
that one? Yeah. So in this photo, you can see how the headers stop right at the side. The side of the case stops right at where the headers are. So you can still plug capes and stuff onto it without removing it from the box.
Okay.
And then you can still get to the reset buttons and to the power LEDs. So we made it to be very cape friendly. So I don't know, I think it's a really good case. It does everything case you'd want, and I really dig the black bottom and the clear top.
Yeah.
The clear top lets you see the LEDs.
How much clearance is there, folks want to know, from the top of the headers?
It is exactly like at the headers.
At the headers.
It's exact. So when you plug in the male headers, the PCB will be right above it. It's kind of hard to see with the black. Once I plug this in, I can't remove it. So you can take a photo from the overhead.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's right at the edge. So you can see the PCB here, and then there's maybe 1 millimeter, and then the side of the case. So this is really meant to, we designed it to be just enough that you could put a cape on top, and it would be fully protected.
Okay.
But the PCB can extend beyond, because I know there's a lot of really big LCD plus motor driver plus whatever. Yeah, battery connector.
Okay, next up. It's a chip.
And we'll probably try to get the CAD files for this up too, just so people have an idea of what size,
Oh, sure.
shape it is, with dimensions and stuff. This is the 1 megabyte flash chip. This is from the Trinket audio tutorial. It's kind of cool. It's SPI flash. It's solid state. It's 1 megabyte. So it's a lot more than most EEPROMs, and it's really easy. We have a tutorial for it. It's just SPI. It's super easy to read and write, and it's extremely fast. So yeah, we used it for, you can save audio clips to it and then play them back on the AT-Tiny85. We could do the same with an Arduino too, but kind of handy when you don't want to, you don't want a whole SD card. This is a lot more stable than an SD card.
Yeah.
But you can't plug into a USB drive.
Next up.
Trade-offs.
I'm going to show the photos first, and then we can get to them. We have the best, lowest cost, and that's low cost as value, battery packs. We've been looking forever for battery packs that can power all of your mobile electronics and things that maybe shouldn't be mobile, but you need a beefy battery pack. So we have a giant box of batteries that just weren't good enough, weren't up to our specs, and as you can see, these power the Pi.
Yeah, I like these. These ones have a really good current output, which I like.
Yeah.
A lot of them, it's you can maybe get, we replaced the one that was only 500 milliamps. So the small one can do 1 amp, and the big one can do 2 times 2 amps. So it's 4 amps total. It's actually quite a beast. So yeah, this is the big one, and this is the little one. And they're good. I like them. I mean, I tried these out. They charge at 500 milliamps or 1 amp.
iPads.
Input 1 amp for both of them. So you can charge them from wall adapter or actually a USB port.
Yeah.
A computer USB port will do the job too.
It's hard to do mobile Pi stuff because the Pi requires a lot of power.
Yeah, that's what I like about this, is that this can run the Pi. The only thing is that you can charge and draw power at the same time, but when you plug it in, there is a blip in the power supply.
Yeah.
This is I couldn't find any that didn't have this. This is sort of
that makes sense.
the
Well, you
trade-off.
probably shouldn't be doing that anyways.
They're not designed for engineers. They're designed for like you charge it at your desk and then you take it out. But the big one can charge an iPad, and the small one can charge like iPhones and stuff as well as electronics.
And
what
run devices.
I got it specifically for, actually, it's interesting. People are like, I want to use it with the Pi as a UPS, and I was actually intending it more for like standalone robotic stuff where you want it to run for a very long time on a battery pack. But also people who wanted to do portable LED projects where they had like NeoPixel strips, and NeoPixels take a lot of current, and so they wanted to run those projects portably, especially for like get costumes or like Burning Man or an event where they want to attach their bicycle or a car or something. So this is what I like that this one can give you 4 amps at 5 volts, which is a really good amount. Yeah. And this one is good for smaller projects. So I think these are really nice. They're quite handy. The small one has 1 USB port. The big one has 2. They have a little indicator, tell you how much they're charged. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Button, turn it on.
Moving right along. One of the other stars of the show tonight is the new Pi Noir camera. This is an IR camera for Raspberry Pi. So
yeah, I think I'll just talk about it because it's basically these photos are really much better than showing it on the overhead. It plugs into a Raspberry Pi, and it doesn't have the IR cut filter. So there's a little pink piece of plastic that's normally bonded on top of the camera sensor, and that's been removed in this case, and so it can take photos. If you flood the area with IR light, we have IR LEDs in the store. You can buy an IR lamp. You can flood the area with IR, so you can do night vision. Also, there's with the blue filter, you can do hyperspectral images. It comes with a little piece of blue plastic. I'm not exactly sure the software you need, but with the addition of some software, you can actually take like what you would normally see from IR film, where it's like you have these really cool red effects, like it's red and yellow and blue. It looks a little bit interesting. So you can do that effect as well. But it's basically just like the Pi camera without the filter, and it's black, so it makes it easier to tell which one you've got. Because if you try to use this for normal color people, video, and photography, it won't look right.
Yeah, and this is an official Pi product, and I think we're the only ones selling it this second.
We are accidentally the only ones selling it, so if you want it before next week, you can get it from us.
All right, next up,
sorry.
I got a few more to go here, Lady Ada, so we gotta
I'm ready.
we gotta go.
We're going.
All right, next up, this is a giant distance sensor.
This is a kind of a freaky distance sensor.
Yeah, it's huge.
What's so funny is I didn't realize I counted the data sheet, but I didn't see how big it was. It is way bigger than I thought. Yeah. But it's also kind of neat. So I'll show you
the overhead.
Bam.
Look at this thing.
It is ginormous. So this would actually be a really good robotics sensor. So there's the way it works is that it emits pulses of light and then measures them bouncing back, and so it's basically a distance sensor. And a lot of people have used sharp distance sensors, and this is just like the big Bertha of distance sensors. So this is the largest one that Sharp made. It is a 1 to 5 meter range, and what I think is that you can also use sonar at this range. But what I like about this is that sometimes, especially if you have audio or something, you'll actually hear the sonar like feedback into your audio system. Or I've just seen situations where people don't want to use sonar. IR works really good for that. This is a really nice little IR sensor. It's analog and it's 5 volt power, so you power it from 5 volts. And then the green wire, like the middle wire here, is an analog voltage from like 1 volt to 4 volts or something. And then you can look at the data sheet for analog to distance, but it's really simple. It's like you don't need an analog input, but there isn't any I2C SPI interfacing or anything. It's just like you read it, you're ready to go. So I don't know, if you have a robot and you want to measure from 1 to 5 meters, you don't want to use sonar, or maybe you want to have both sonar and IR for some reason. Yeah. Both will do the job quite nicely.
It wants to be robot eyes.
Yeah, it's got like these big eyes.
Yeah, okay. Next up. Lady Ada, look at this. Look at these. These are a little cute. They're little tiny. They're Pi shorteners.
Pi shortening.
Pi Short SD card holders. So this is, and they're also great for MacBook Pros. We have a photos. So if you want to
Yeah.
pop them in, they
Well, it's
are
funny
in.
because people, I don't sell like MacBook Pro accessories, but a lot of people were asking whether the other Pi adapters that we sell would be good
Yeah.
for it, and I'm like, no, but these are.
Very good for cases, including ours.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So I'll show this. So this is a standard SD card, and this is the Shorty SD card holder. So you can see it's like, I think I even measured it. It's like 8 millimeters shorter, and it's not like crazy shorter, but it's short enough that it can make a case not stick out. It can stick out a lot less in a case. And so normally you feed the microSD card in from the bottom, and in this case you feed it from the side. So that's what makes it short. So you can kind of, well, you snap it in like this, and it's flush. And so it's basically just an SD card adapter, but it's
Yeah.
super short. And there's this little ridge, which is like
Yeah.
super smart. So you can pull it out, especially if you put it into a MacBook. It's like nearly flush. So it's like, oops, sorry. It's nearly flush. So it's like, focus.
You can bring it up. Well, no, I mean bring the object up.
I know. Okay. Well, I'll just show it over here.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you can use this. I personally like using it for Raspberry Pi stuff. So, for example, if you have our Pi case or any other case where this slot doesn't have any clearance on the bottom, this will definitely fit. And
Look at that.
it fits like totally
Woo.
flush, and like nothing sticks out. So some people really like that.
Okay.
Also, if you have a Pibo, this Pibo actually has a cutout, but a lot of the Pibos don't. They don't have a cutout on the bottom. This will fit in, and then it sticks out only like a teeny little amount, only like
Yeah.
1 millimeter. So that can be really nice. Some people they don't like the normal SD card slots. A normal SD
Yeah.
card slot sticks out that much, and if you don't like that, this is your
and at a great
your bag.
price. Okay,
It's short.
next up. These batteries are tiny. Look at these cute batteries.
This is so cute. Yeah, I already lost
Code
it.
should have been tiny or something, but it's still
Where's
BBB.
Where's the battery?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, here it is. It's so small.
You lost the battery. It's too small.
It's too small.
Too small.
Yeah, it's just super teeny. It's I actually ordered 100 milliamp hour batteries, but they sent me 110. So I don't know. Maybe
Ooh.
you get 10% more. They're just super teeny batteries. We have 150 milliamp hour batteries in the store, but these 110s are a little slimmer. I think they might go well with a trinket, for example, for pairing a trinket, because like, let me grab a trinket off of this PCB. They can kind of fit like maybe underneath
Oh,
or
neat.
something. I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, you can power a little trinket.
You
Look
can
at
have a
that.
little trinket power, and it's just super slim. So I don't know. I didn't order it for that reason, but after I was looking at it, I was like, oh, it's about the same size as a trinket. So super cute, very slim. Another battery option. We're gonna get one more battery.
Could it power something like a Blue Fruit?
Yeah, it could be something for stuff that's like low current. And we have the micro lipo charger because you want to charge these at 100 milliamps or less.
That's exciting.
But it's a great little rechargeable battery, and you can cut these wires. You can cut and trim if you need. They're a little bit long, but we decided to make them longer rather than shorter. But they add a little bit to the weight. They're also quite light. Like the weight of this thing is the wires, not the battery. The battery weighs like maybe 1.5 grams.
Okay.
Super lightweight.
All right. And last but not least, a new board from Adafruit, the Resistive touchscreen controller. This is cool.
Oh, I left this on the photo table.
That's okay.
That's okay.
There's photos of it here.
This photo.
Yeah, what is this product, Lady Ada?
This is a product that's kind of weird because it's like, well, like you don't actually have resistive touchscreens in the store of that size, but we will. This is the STMP 610. This is a resistive touchscreen controller. So resistive touchscreens are analog touchscreens. They require 2 or 4 analog inputs, usually 4 analog inputs. They're kind of a pain. They're completely passive, so you have to pull them. There's no like electronics inside. That makes them really easy to use in some cases. Like you don't need there's not a lot of complexity. But if you want to have like interrupt-based or background reading, basically if you don't have to sit there and like pull them constantly and do analog readings, having an assistive chip helpful. This STMP 610 is a really great chip. It supports I2C and SPI. If your microcontroller doesn't have analog inputs, or you don't want to use your analog inputs for this purpose, This chip kind of does everything, and it's like super precise, and it's like custom designed exactly for this purpose, so it's really, really good at it. And yeah, it just has interrupt output. It's really powerful. I'm going to be using this chip in a couple of future products, so having it break out is handy for me and also maybe handy for other people. So yeah, hopefully we'll be adding support for this to the Raspberry Pi. Right now we have example code. Oops.
Drop the case. Hey, you know the case doesn't shatter when it falls. It's perfect.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's polycarb.
That was part of the live demo that we had planned tonight. All right.
There's like so much stuff on my desk here.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a handy resistive touchscreen controller. If you happen to be doing stuff with resistive touchscreens, you understand how annoying they can be to interface. So check this one out. I like it a lot more than the other options. I tried a lot of other options.
And that was new products, Lady Ada.
It was it?
It was.
Okay.
Whew.